Hello everybody out there and welcome back to another episode of the Dark Avenger comic book review. Moving forward from 470, moving towards 500. And if you are watching this on the day I'm posting it, it is Thanksgiving. So first of all, as always, this is our pre-review show. Happy Thanksgiving everybody. We hope you are all enjoying Thanksgiving. I hope you are watching this in your free time on Thanksgiving, or you're watching this the day after Thanksgiving, because Thanksgiving is a time of year where we get to spend time with our family, we get to eat a lot, and then of course we get to prepare for the big end of the year holidays, namely Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, New Year.
Yep.
So hopefully you are enjoying that, but hopefully you are coming back and checking out this review. I hope everyone's having a happy Thanksgiving. I'm most thankful, of course, for all of you who are with us each and every week, checking out the videos, checking out the live shows, for everybody who has followed me over on my new channel, new journey. And I'm going to say this, I know people say you don't talk about this, but I am super thankful for my one thumbs down person who is probably watching at least this part right now, or maybe not. Maybe they click the video and then give it a thumbs down and disappear. I would just like to say that, you know, there is an app out there that allows you to trace where it's from. So I know it's sad because it kind of points directly to whom is doing it.
Ooh.
Oh, I'm not saying it on air.
Oh, I thought you knew.
But I know. And it doesn't matter because, again, it validates that this show is doing really, really well. So feel free to continue to come on to each and every one of the episodes and thumbs down it, because you validate this show and make it even more of an enjoyment for me to do. So, anyway, real quick, speaking of the show, I was asked by a few people, why are you quitting? Why are you leaving the comic reviews? And I want to make something very clear, and maybe I wasn't coming across clear, so I would like to clarify. The Dark Avenger comic book review show is still going to go on after 500. The only thing we're changing is the fact that it is a weekly format. If there's a week that we can't do it, or we're really late and we don't want to do it, we're skipping that week. That doesn't mean that the show is over and we're only going to be doing like one episode a year, if even. The show is still going to be going on. It just takes a little bit of the pressure off of us. If, for example, we are so late that it's already Sunday, it takes the pressure off of us to have to do it. You know, it does not mean it's ending. Quite contrary, it is continuing. It is just not going to be on a weekly format. That's all. It's just not going to be weekly. And of course, it will be over on Comic Frontline first. But that's it. I don't want anybody to think, oh, you know, Chris is quitting comics and just going and doing his new channel. I am doing a lot of work on my new channel. I have done a few videos on my channel already, and I've been moving forward with the channel where I want to go, and I'm doing stuff outside of YouTube as well. I'm planning stuff outside of YouTube as well, but that doesn't take away from the things I enjoy. So I don't want you all to think that, you know, that's it. This channel is the only thing that truly is going into like sleep mode or archive mode. Other than that, everything is staying, you know, the way it's been. It's just, you know. And again, there's a lot of changes that are going to be happening in 2019 that I'm seeing that's going on. And those changes might push it to that I might have the ability to do almost every single week's worth of the Dark Avenger comic review. But I'm not going to push myself anymore. That's the only difference. It doesn't mean I'm stopping. I never would want to stop this review. It's just I've come to the reality that 1,000 is another 10 years away when we hit 500.
All right.
10 more years. Who knows where we're going to be in 10 years? So that's the only thing I'm saying, and I'm not saying I'm stopping. 2-to-1-501 will probably be the week right after we do 500, just to, you know, give the show a welcome back to Comic Frontline. And like I said, if we can do it, we will do it, because I know all of you enjoy the show, and we enjoy doing it for all of you. And obviously, when 501 goes back to Frontline, I am planning a bit of a Dark Avenger Live, you know, bringing back the comic review to Frontline and talking to everybody, all of our viewers on Frontline about it. But yeah, I mean, it's not ending. I just want to make that perfectly clear. It's just not going to be on a every single week format anymore. So it won't be exactly 100 weeks from 500 that will hit 600. It might be 105. It might be 110. It might even be 150. Who knows? I'm just saying that it won't be 100 straight weeks. We will be missing some. I'm going to try not to as much as possible, but right now I feel like it's very stressful, especially with all the books that we read, to make sure every single week. And sometimes you just want that break, that 1 or 2 week break really kind of refreshes you and you're ready to go again. So I feel like that'll help keep us energized as we're doing these reviews as well. And I know you all enjoy it, regardless of the hater. I know most of you enjoy it, so we don't want to stop what we know you guys enjoy. We're just going to cut back on the we must do it every week.
Yep.
Every single week. And again, you never know what 2019 holds. I made the announcement, I stated it, and I'm sticking by it. It will be ending on a weekly format as of 500. That's it. And we'll see where the Dark Avenger comic book review goes over on Frontline. If you haven't subscribed, please do. As a matter of fact, our award show is next Tuesday. So
Yep.
go check that out. And with that, I think 6 minutes is a good pre-show. But I want to thank all of you for being here. I hope, again, wonderful Thanksgiving. And I'm not going to keep you all long, just in case you are watching this on Thanksgiving. We're going to try to do this as short as possible. I really do want to make it short because I feel like I talked about most of my books on Frontline Live. And again, we are trying to get the review back to Monday if we can. We're going to see what we can do. Again, a lot of books, not that much time. I'm sure you all understand. Go. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa,
Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Whoa.
Hold the brakes there. There are 15.
I'm going too fast.
Yeah, there are 15 digital books that we are reviewing. And these books that we're reviewing came out on November 14, 2018. Now you can say what the first book is.
Now I feel like I'm all caught up. Go Power Rangers, issue number 14. Rita Repulsa looking for the Green Ranger coin, setting up for Green with Evil. Will it be Tommy? Will it be Matt? Who knows? But she took Jason and Trini along with her, and their powers are reversed. Jason is yellow, and Trini is red. And they try to reach out to Zordon. They finally do reach out to Zordon, and now the team has to find a way to bring them back. And I like how Billy kind of teases the car again. And we also had... Now, I hope they bring the car in for a bit before they bring the Green Ranger in. Well, then again, now it's no longer because of Shattered Grid. Nothing in the Go-Go universe is... it's not canon anymore. So that's why everybody's saying Matt might be the new Green Ranger. Personally, and I understand it's something different. I understand that it validates... Shattered Grid. Tommy will always be my Green Ranger, and he'll always be my White Ranger, and he'll always be my Zeo Ranger 5 Red. After that, I kind of... the Zeo Rangers is where I started to fall out of the Power Rangers a bit. And then, of course, they had Turbo Rangers, and then all the original Rangers left, and then new Rangers came on. If it's not Tommy, it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like the Green Ranger. Regardless of how much sense it makes that Matt would be the Green Ranger, doesn't work for me. I think if that happens, I probably would fall off of Go-Go. Just because Tommy will always be my Green Ranger. Already with Mighty Morphin, I've moved that to a casual read because I don't really like the makeshift team. I feel like with Go-Go, if you bring Matt in, I might stick around and see where Green with Evil goes. But if I see they're going to keep Matt on and Tommy's kind of going to get, not shafted, but Tommy's going to be like just a person. I mean, Jason was always my favorite Power Ranger. My number one favorite was Tommy, though. Tommy the Green, Tommy the White. It's weird. It's weird, it would
What
be
about
weird
when he
seeing
was
somebody.
the Dino Thunder and the Turbo?
I didn't watch Dino Thunder, and Turbo, it was okay. And I told you, I just said Zeo, I stopped watching.
Yeah, but Turbo was
After Zeo, so I stopped watching. And I didn't say he was my Turbo Ranger. I would like to see Tommy stay as the Green Ranger. And even if they put Matt in, if there's like some type of a tease that Tommy becomes the White Ranger and Matt stays the Green, okay then. I can kind of live with that, if that makes sense. Because we all know that Tommy loses the ability to be the Green Ranger anyway. But I don't see that happening. And I don't know where they're going with Go-Go. It just feels weird not seeing Tommy as a Ranger. For me. Jason was always my favorite, but unfortunately, Austin St. John left, I believe, halfway through Tommy becoming the White Ranger, and we all know the reasons behind it. So Tommy's been like the constant when it came to the Power Rangers, and Billy until Zeo. But I don't know. I don't know how I feel. I spent way too much time talking about it. So
Ghostbusters Crossing Over, issue number 8. The last issue to the Ghostbusters Crossing Over series. And just to keep it like really short, they just fight against Medusa, the Ghostbusters, to open the portal to get back to the universe. So they do so successfully after lots of tactics that they threw at it in order to capture her into the containment unit. And we see that Ray's lover, Jenny, is actually, she did something to actually sacrifice herself to help out with the containment unit before the ghosts were to be released. So, he's worried about her. The ending part really got to me, though. Janine and Walter Peck having a talk and working together for the PCOC. So
sounds like something Peter Venkman might be cooking up.
So that's the end for now.
For now, there'll be more.
Right, I didn't see anything of a preview.
They might wait till 2019.
But yeah, but probably then. But hopefully there'll be another one because I really enjoy the Ghostbusters franchise comics.
God of War #1. I read this book, most of it, when the God of War Collector's Edition came out. I got a free digital comic with the Collector's Edition. And I loved it. I really am excited to see where this mini goes. It's a prequel to the God of War game. So if you're a fan of God of War, if you've played God of War and you'd like to see a bit of a prequel to Kratos and his son, you are welcome to check it out. I enjoyed it. I will be continuing it. Again, I like how it shows more of his struggle with his anger. Now, we all know that in the game. See, now, I feel like, and here's my issue. God of War came out in the middle of 2018. We are now at the very end of 2018, going into 2019. The miniseries will be ending in the beginning of 2019. I feel like the one minus is this came out a bit too late for a comic series. If this was going to be an ongoing, if this was going to be something that took place after the game, makes sense. This is supposed to be a prequel to the game. This is supposed to happen before the game. And it's weird. It's weird because I know how the game ends. I played through the game. We know that his anger gets dealt with, and we get all the ins and outs. And now it's like reading this, it's like going backwards. And honestly, I'm reading because I love Kratos and I love the story. I just feel like they should have released this sooner. When I read the comic as the game came out, it felt great. I read it. It was before I even got into the game. I didn't even start the game yet. I had read the comic. Now I played through the entire game. And now I'm going back. And I'm like, oh, I remember that comic. Next is issue 2. Dark Horse. Was it Dark Horse that did this? I believe it was. I believe Dark Horse did God of War.
We'll keep talking.
Whatever company did God of War, I believe it was Dark Horse. I could actually check it out right here.
Okay.
I'll check it out right here. But if it was Dark Horse, like I believe it was, Dark Horse, you kind of dropped the ball. You kind of dropped the ball because it should have been released a bit sooner. And the answer is Dark Horse. I was right. Dark Horse kind of dropped the ball. They should have released this book a bit sooner. That's all. My only complaint. The book was great, though. Fan of God of War, fan of the game, like the prequel, get this book.
And another issue #1 that came out from a different company, Valiant, Bloodshot Rising Spirit. And surprisingly, on Frontline Live, this was actually my book of the week. And The reason why is because, like, I like a new route that they're going with Bloodshot. It's like talking about how he's going through all these traumas and tests that they're letting him go through about what gets him ticked or something like that, and his name is Angelo in this Bloodshot. So he gets through these different what's the thing we call dreams, a simulation, is that what it's called? Yeah. And then one of them went wrong, where he goes cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs a little bit, which then leads into what could be happening in further issues to come. So it's a new type of Bloodshot, but in a good way, for that matter. So definitely am interested in looking into the next issue to see how that goes.
Birthright 33, I really enjoyed this issue. I know there were issues where it feels like you missed something. You didn't miss anything. Brennan in this issue deals with a lot of anger he's been holding inside for a while. It's always been about Mikey. Mikey went missing, then Mikey came back. And he's been a bit jealous of it. And it kind of, I understand where Brant and Jay came when they were saying it just came out of nowhere, because he was always protecting Mikey. He was always, behind Mikey, and now all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he has this internal hate for him because it was always about Mikey. And I forget her name, but she's teaching him magic, and she's teaching him that to do it is through hurt and anger and pain. And we have another flashback with Mikey about when he went to learn magic with his bride-to-be, and Raya is dealing with not having wings now, and she's trying to convince Mikey that, hey, you're still the prophecy, you could still save, defeat Lore and save Tyrannos and stop the cycle of people going there and being thought to be the chosen one to stop Lore, stop the vicious cycle and save both Earth and Tyrannos. And he's still having issues with it, and he hates magic. And I love how he goes to Raya, so if you believe all the legend is true about me, then do you believe who I'm supposed to marry? And she doesn't answer because they find Brennan. And Mikey's like, you have to stop. We're going to cure you of the magic. And he's like, no, it's always been about you. Now it's my turn. And that's how the book ends. And it was cool. I'm liking it. Yes, it does feel like something's missing, but I can live with it. Moving into the big two, Vault of Spiders issue 2 fell short for me. I like the Spiders, man. Did not like the Aunt May, if she became Spider, I forget what she was called, Spider-Man. That took up way too much of the book, and we didn't get enough of the third story, which was the Spider. I really feel like we should have gotten way less Spider-Man and way more the Spider, or even the Spiders. Man, anything but Spider-Man. It just, they did this before with Spider-Verse. It didn't work then. And I feel like I'm repeating myself because we talked about this on Frontline Live, but it didn't work then, it doesn't work now. Peter Parker, The Spectacular Spider-Man, issue 312. I'm reading this strictly because it is connected to Spider-Geddon, and it is this is Peter Parker's connection to Spider-Geddon, the main Spider-Man Peter Parker, fighting Morlun, getting his butt kicked multiple times. Miles is trying to help him out. J. Jonah Jameson is trying to help him out, but kind of makes things worse multiple times. And I like how Pete sends Miles away to deal with what's going on. But then you have, like I said, JJJ, who is bringing in the National Guard or Army, it looks like, to stop Morlun, and it's just putting more innocent people in the way. And I think Pete's going to be very upset about that when they get in the way, because then he's going to be sacrificing himself to protect them. And it's weird. It's weird seeing JJJ so opposite.
Yeah,
but I guess he's trying. I can understand it, but it's weird. It's just weird.
Amazing Spider-Man, issue number 9.
I enjoyed this issue, but this is yours to review.
Yeah, this one was it just talks about really about how Black Cat has this not hatred towards Spider-Man, but saying like he has like a little bit of a dark side and everything, and then they go through like a whole thing of what's happening probably when Doc Ock was in his mind, this whole thing happened and all that. You have Mary Jane who talks with Carly Cooper.
Never good when ex-girlfriend comes to town.
And in that, you could look up and see what they were talking about there. And you have Black Cat talks about...
Well, it's important because Mary Jane goes to it. It's about a place where people get off their... These are people who are friends with superheroes and know their secret, and it kind of gets all the burden off. And I feel like Carly is a wimp, in a way, because she kind of said, oh, I couldn't go out, I couldn't breathe knowing his secret. It was like, really? Really, Carly? I mean, I don't know. It just kind of made me go, Carly, really? You had that much? It felt that much of a burden? Nobody else ever felt that way. Mary Jane never felt that way. And I love how she actually said to Carly, if I need somebody, I go to him. And then she was curious enough that she went to check it out, and it was run by Jarvis, who's a friend of hers. And she actually stays for one of the meetings to see what's up. And we get to see some of them. Gonki was there. So it's interesting.
Yeah.
I just didn't like how Carly came across, like she was so burdened.
You mean Charlie?
Carly Cooper?
Oh, it was Carly. Oh, I thought it was
Right.
Charlie. Oh, my mistake. Alright. And then we get this new character, Odessa Drake, who actually is in this new leader of a group. And as Spider-Man's trying to, say, like, I know that, you haven't, changed still, but, I can't believe you have, like, I thought you have, and, well, they get ambushed by, her, gang. And that's to be continued in the next issue. So, that was really something.
The first arc is over. Fantastic Four issue number 3. I loved it. Fantastic Four reunited once again. Everybody fighting this goddess of destruction, and then Reed makes the discovery, holy crap. She stole the technology to jump from world to world. She basically put all the doubt in Reed's mind and basically was using the Fantastic Four to find a way into their world so she can destroy that world too. And in the end, Reed outsmarts the goddess, and we get to see classic Fantastic Four winning the day, teaming, back together again, the first family. And there's some funny moments in here, like when Ben pulls Spider-Man away from Franklin, going, "No, don't do this power and responsibility thing." And then Ben kind of reaches out to Franklin. It was just, I really truly enjoyed this issue. I'm excited to see where Dan Slott goes in arc 2. It's just the first arc. You really can't say whether this book is going to be spectacular yet. But based on the first arc alone, I really enjoyed Fantastic Four. And I definitely recommend everybody try out the first arc. Moving into DC Comics, starting with DC Vertigo. House of Whispers issue number 3. I am officially shelving this book as a casual read. And when I say casual read, I'm talking about I'll keep it in my read pile just to know what's going on. But I don't know, it feels like the artwork changed in this book. Maybe I'm wrong. I questioned it. I didn't have a chance to go check out if the art changed. This is my least favorite book out of the entire Sandman universe. And this book, I felt like I was forcing myself to read it. And when you feel like you're forcing yourself to read a book, you're not enjoying it. And I feel you shouldn't be reading it. So, about there, maybe 2 pages back, which is a little bit past the middle of the book, I said I'm done. Because I was forcing myself to read, and it was like, I'm just not feeling this book. And then I sat there and said, why am I reading this book? And the answer was Sandman Universe, and the characters are trapped in the dreaming right now. That's not good enough. I should be reading a book because I want to read about what's going on in this part of the Sandman universe. And the fact that I'm not reading it for that reason is why I'm putting it in a casual read. Does that mean I won't read it? No, I'll still be keeping an eye on it because it is part of the Sandman universe. And if there's ever a gigantic crossover, I will be coming back to House of Whispers review-wise. But if and when that happens, then we'll see House of Whispers on the review again. Otherwise, this is going to my casual read file. My casual read pile. Why did I say file? My casual read pile because
In the file.
right, because there's a lot of books, and there's a lot of new books coming out in 2019. Young Justice, Wonder Twins, Shazam. There's a lot of new stuff I'm going to be reading, so I've got to be very picky, choosy what stays and what goes. Plastic Man issue number 6, the grand finale. Kind of glad it's over. This is the creepiest, weirdest cover. I'm sorry, I do not like this cover at all.
Put it right there.
No.
Yeah.
So I feel like it ended weak. I really just wasn't feeling it. Most way through, you got Plastic Man fighting his doppelganger.
What the hell?
And in the end, he ends up adopting the kid that he sends away with child services. You see it coming a mile away. And it says that Plastic Man will be coming back. We just don't know where yet.
How is it?
Well, no, it kind of ends with Granite. I forget her name. Right there. I forget her name. I don't know who she is, but she ends up saying she wants revenge against Plastic Man.
Doors?
Doris, yeah, whoever she is. And she vows revenge. And it even says Plastic Man will... Granite Janet, thank you. They say that there's going to be a new volume. Plastic Man will be coming back soon. We'll see. I don't know if I'll be on board with it. I wanted to like it. I love Plastic Man and the Terrifics, but kind of falls short.
Red Hood Outlaw, issue number 28. And to me, I felt this to be a 5-minute quick read for me because...
Point A to point B?
Yeah, like, it first talks about, well, first of all, this Wingman is going to be a subplot, basically. Basically, in a few issues, we'll be seeing him. But it's just, Jason's on the town, getting used to what's going on. He finds out that these old people are crazy and that they were trying to kill him and the other people as well. So then he tries to get out. And like we said on Frontline Live, there was a thing where he was hung on the cross, like on Smallville. And he deals with this big, huge guy who actually helps him get out. And then you have a Batwoman who actually comes in and tries to get him to go back to
Gotham.
Gotham and everything. But there's like these other people that come in that he dealt with before, Jason Todd, and he's like, yeah. And it says next Batwoman can't you read? So is it going to be in Batwoman continuing?
No, next issue will have Batwoman in it.
Oh. But yeah, but it was like a really quick read for me. Like I was looking at him like saying, oh wow, that's it? Like that was quick.
That's how I felt about not this next book, the following one. Mr. Miracle issue number 12, the grand finale. A lot of people were... Go ahead.
Oh, I thought
A lot of people were upset about it. A lot of people said this was a cop-out after 12 issues. It's been a whole year that this book has been out. And I think it missed 1 month, so maybe a year and a month. I don't know. I don't care. I think it went great. So we find out that he is dead. That he died, but he can come back. He's basically in this trap where he's in the anti-life equation, and it's giving him everything he's ever wanted. Big Barda is pregnant again. He has a child. He is all father. He's saved Apocalypse. And he's just happy. And he can escape whenever he wants. He just chooses not to. And we get to see throughout this book, he sees visions of all of his old friends. All Father, High Father, Darkseid, Orion, everyone. And in the end he sees, what was his name? It was... I forget what his name was. Oh, God. Well, I forget his name, but he was one of Mr. Miracle's friends who had passed away.
O'Brien?
Oh, O'Brien, whatever. And this is where you find out, he knows he's there, and he's like, is anything really real? I mean, you have it's basically another part of the multiverse. If you're happy here, do what you want, but you can escape. You're Mr. Miracle. You can get out whenever you want. And he's like, yeah, I am Mr. Miracle. And he says it at the very end of the book. I can escape whenever I want. He just doesn't want to. So for now, he's living his life in this alternate world that, it makes you wonder what's real and what's not, what's important and what's not. And for him, this world is very real and it's very important. And at the moment, he doesn't want to go back to where, he was. How will this impact, the main DC universe? Well, we're going to see the Fury soon. So maybe they'll share some of it with Big Barda in the main DC universe, or maybe this was even a what if story and Mr. Miracle is in the DC universe and this is just a side story of one of those moments where he was dead and then he decides he's going to come back. Who knows? Now, like you, Batman Detective Comics 992. I'm not digging this Cobra arc. I'm really not. Batman's teaming up with Two-Face. They fight a group from Cobra. There's a page where he's talking to Alfred, and Alfred goes through all the Bat family team, and each one of them is paired up together. Batgirl and Batgirl and Orphan, Batwoman and Black Lightning, I think, are working together, and Signal, I think it was Signal and here we go. Katana and Black Lightning, which is basically leading into the Outsiders. Batwoman is working with Signal. And they basically take out Cobra all throughout Gotham. Come to find out that it's all a distraction and that they're putting some mind control stuff in the sewers.
The death of Harvey Dent.
I don't know. But that was the whole book in a nutshell. In and out. Just a lot of dialogue in between that made it last a little bit longer, you could say. And then we have Superman issue number 5. Zod has been having visions where his family, Kandor and Superman's family band together to reestablish New Krypton, and they have to set their differences aside, and that's when Rogozar shows up in this vision and destroys it all, kills everyone. And Zod worries that his visions are going to be true, finds out that Earth is missing, so he goes to Earth. Superman is fighting Rogozar, then he he starts saying, I should just, I have all this power. And then we get the vision of the Kents, and he kind of brings himself back down and says, okay, you know what? Let me find out what this guy is all about. And then the Earth comes back. Zod is there. He has to be sent to the Phantom Zone. He gets sent to the Phantom Zone. Superman finally starting to get through to Rogozar a bit, and then Zod shows up. Now, one thing I will discuss, and I mentioned this on Frontline, is out of all of Superman's villains, it was interesting seeing Lex Luthor a superhero. Zod definitely would, Zod always felt he was doing what was best for Krypton. Even if it was wrong, even if it was bad. And there were certain points where it wasn't walking a thin line or gray area. It was black or white, period. And as a reader, you know that Zod was one evil mofo. He was. But I feel like out of all of Superman's villains, Zod could be Superman's Venom, where Zod could there could be a way that Zod could try to redeem himself as an anti-hero and be about just, preserving Krypton or preserving what's left or the memory of Krypton. I could see him not as somebody who stays on Earth, not another super on Earth, but someone on occasion to pop in. I definitely could see Zod on a redemption road. I just don't know how DC would go about doing it. Because for the most part, Zod has always been in the Phantom Zone. And the fact that, I don't know if this vision's ever going to come true. Let's be fair here. We don't know what's going to happen with Rogozar. And I have no clue what Brian Michael Bendis is doing with everything that's going on. But I could definitely see Zod on that redemption path. More so than Lex Luthor, that's for sure. However, as far as the book goes, it would not be in my top 5 this week. I will say it was not, and it would not have been, even if certain books weren't there. Actually, I think it would be. If one or two books weren't there, it might have barely made it at number 5. It's just, I would like to get this Rogozar stuff done. I don't want 12 issues of this, and if we are going to get 12 issues of this, we should have had this doubled up, because I feel like it's taking us a long time to get to where we're supposed to get, and not enough is happening in each issue. I don't know. I mean, I enjoyed it. Like I said, maybe it would have made my number 5 spot, but that's about it. And I know Wonder Woman, by the way, everybody, new artist, new creative team. The artwork lost me, and I really wasn't feeling Wonder Woman. So Wonder Woman remains not on the review pile for me. I'll be casually reading it, but again, nothing, not to put back on the review. But Superman, let's see where it goes. Again, it would have been, it would have been my number 5 if we didn't have Mr. Miracle and we didn't have, there was another mini, God of War. If we didn't have those 2 books, Superman would have made it to number 5, probably. So, with that, that's it for this review, everybody. Now it's your turn. Let us know in the comments below what you thought about the books that came out this week. Likes, dislikes, agree, disagree, recommendations. We always loved hearing from all of you. This is going to be a crazy hectic week with Thanksgiving. So I know a lot of you are probably watching this, if not on Friday, then sometime in hopefully the near future. From then, again, definitely check out the pre-show. Very important stuff, because I know a lot of you have asked me questions about this review. And yeah, till next time, everybody, take care. Keep reading, keep collecting, and we will see all of you next time in the next episode of the Dark Adventure Comic Review.
Hey, everybody.